Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Joshino, and today we're going to take a look at what is coming in OB68 that has been officially announced so far. So this isn't spicy speculation, this has come directly from hi-rez. Anyway, before we start, here's an awesome trailer for the new map, Ascension Peak. Folks, is that some lore I smell? Some Genos lore, perhaps? Well, the name Ascension Peak does sort of line up with the idea that Genos tried to ascend from his teachings to sort of the astral plane, and it's a cool idea that this is the peak that he was testing out everything he learned on. Anyway, hi-rez has basically said that this is going to be a big patch, combining 68 and 69. I don't know whether they're going to call it OB69 or just OB68 at this point, but it's a big one. So we've got the new map, Ascension Peak. We're going to have a big Asiatic themed event, and it's going to be around this map, and also loads of themed skins and quests and things like that. Maybe even a new PvE mode, which is spicy speculation, not fully announced. But what's been announced so far then? These are the more quality of life stuff. The first one is that they are completely rehauling the current skin system. The system they currently call parts and pieces, which is where you can mix and match head, body and weapon attachments. Now there'll only be a single skin, although weapons will stay the same, that you can interchange weapons between skins. Now they've talked about why they want to change this, and the reason why is they want to have more outlandish, more out there skins, and a lot of people actually were talking about Paladins Strike, which is a mobile game, having way better skins than Paladins, but what they were saying is that often things like collision, they had to always work to a very tight design with safe zones for every skin that they made for the actual PC version, so we might get more outlandish things like we saw in Paladins Strike. And in fact, they have given some of the examples of stuff, concept art of things that they want to see coming. Some of them are actually awesome. First off, there's like a half Evangelion Talus, which looks pretty epic. Torvald and Grover look like they've been sort of pasted between Evangelion and Doom or something. And then we've got like a pirate-themed Maldamba emoji and Maeve. Emojis is particularly awesome, having these sort of shark pet. And they can be a bit more wild without the restrictions in place. And I think these especially could be awesome. The community has been a little split on both sides. Some people loved some of the skins. There's some things that are just gonna go. Things like having Lex glasses on with a Lexo suit. You can actually get Ying's face out with one of the skins. The same with Talus face paint and Zin's sort of tribal mask thing if you take off the Marauder helmet. So I do see where people are coming from. They did show off the old Grok skin that was in the alpha, and sort of highlighting that this might be the system they go back to, with just a very simple skins UI with maybe just a few selections where you pick out the full skins from. They did also talk about performance, saying that this actually had hits on performance. Hopefully the game would perform better if there are only single pieces, and the UI was pretty messy, which it was. And thirdly, they want better skins, and they don't say it, but they need to make money. And after OB66 and into OB67, they have changed their sort of ploy from monetizing the grind to monetizing skins, so this is probably something that always had to happen. They had to streamline it, and they have to make them more purchasable. I kind of hope they bring more stuff into the single purchase, so you don't have to go into the RNG of the chest, and perhaps rotate old stuff into the chest instead. Don't worry though, if you do have a part of a skin, you'll actually get the full skin after this update goes live, which is actually a pretty big bonus. Also, if you have a single piece skin, so if it's like a hat, pair of glasses, it becomes a single one-part skin with the default skin underneath, which I think is With some of the stuff I like to mix and match with other skins, but I mean, it's better than nothing. Weapon skins themselves will remain independent, so you don't need to worry about that. You can mix and match weapons still. Some of the skins they're merging together, like the Genie Ying and Nova Strike. Instead of having loads of different options, they're going to look at the one that they deem best. All the other accessories will be removed from the game, but they say they will compensate players. What their compensation will be, not entirely sure. Common and uncommon recolor skins. Only one champion will have one recolor skin, and players will be refunded gold for any recolor skins in their inventory that were removed from the game. Also, these skins will be purchasable by gold. Yay, something to spend the gold on. The other thing they're changing is voice packs. They're now tied to a single purchase of each champion's default voice pack. I don't know how I feel about that one, but if you do own the champion's voice pack, you can access any voice packs for skins you currently own or purchase in the future of that champion. Players who previously owned the skin voice packs but not default champion pack will be retroactively rewarded that pack. I'm not gonna lie, for me, I just felt that default voice packs are something that makes the game better, and you sort of expect from base. You expect to be able to talk as Maeve when you use the voice command system. For example, if you're playing a Maeve. I'm mostly positive for all of these changes and making skins better and trying to monetize this way, but this one I'm not so sure on. I just think maybe make a pack on top of the default pack and just have it for gold or something. Or just just let them unlock the voices once they buy the champion. So in short, we're going to have bigger, hopefully better skins going into the future, and maybe some better performance with the game with only having a single piece. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you on the side that liked mix and matching? I personally like mix and matching with some things, but hope that things are going to get better. Or are you on the other side where you're like, yes, this is going to be awesome, and you want to see some of the stuff that they have in Strike, for example? The second big thing that they've announced is a rework of support champions. And in short, they're saying that support champions have too high of a win rate over other champions. If you look on the better meta as well, currently in this patch, they're doing better than damage dealers across the board, and they're pretty much in line with the flanks. What they're saying is they want a very light touch to the balance here, but basically they don't want to take anything away from the damage or the versatility of their kits, which especially supports now have been buffed quite heavily by the increased levels of cards in their base kits, because a lot of the cooldowns mean extra healing or self-healing depending on which champion is, and you can have higher values across the board with the 3 extra points. But what they actually want to change here is the health pool of the champions. They say a light touch, and they haven't said exactly how much, but they were giving an example of Meldamba having 2,650 health compared to most flank and damage champions that have between 1,800 and 2,300. So perhaps bringing it in line with more along the lines of the damage dealers. Again, they haven't said how much it's going to be. I know that people have been quite vocal about this, voicing their concern, which is valid. I think the side of the argument is that the time to kill will be lowered once again. Basically, healers will be able to be bursted down quicker. For me, one of the problems at the moment is how well flankers are doing compared to damage dealers. It feels damage dealers are getting a bit more redundant. The maps aren't huge, and flankers can do a lot more burst damage DPS wise now more than before, and at the end of the day this is probably going to benefit the flankers more again. The flankers are very similar levels to the supports on the better meta, and as always it is kind of a struggle to get your team to pick up a healer, especially if you're in earlier brackets. But even in later brackets, people just don't want to play healer as much. I know that in Paladins, like they say here, the damage is viable on most of the champions, and they can be defensive, and they often have some crowd control effects. They're not sitting back or just clicking and healing somebody. Personally, I don't really like that so much on Mercy from Overwatch, for example, but even the Overwatch team are making heroes over their side like Moira and now Brigitte, where they are more involved and aggressive healers. Pretty much all Paladins healers are like that. Even Serra's, who has more of an active heal, often fights between the heals, and they aren't held down all of the time. Either way, I think this is going to be relatively minor, and you've got to remember that also the card power has gone up, so the self-healing and stuff like that, but I still think that perhaps the healing towards late game does get curbed too much still with Cauterize, and that's probably a bigger problem that Paladins has had up for a long time, really. Rejuvenate doesn't really take away from all the effect of the Cauterize. Maybe Rejuvenate needs to be made slightly more powerful to sort of maybe counteract it. Maybe it could be more of a viable option for healers to take as like a self-healing option. Maybe over the base health kit. I don't know, what does everybody else think about this change? And again, I want to stress, we don't know how much it's going to be by. Probably not a lot. It's probably going to be bringing down the health levels a little bit. And we'll probably just have a different meta across the next patch. I mean, 2 supports, maybe like a damaging support and a more active support like Meldamba and Serra's is sort of picked up at the moment. Maybe that'll go down a bit next patch, but we'll just have to see. So personally, for me, the skin system is good and is something that needed to be done for the future of Paladins. A, making them money, and B, just for the polish, and it just seems that we're edging towards release a bit more. I know this patch has been buggy, but you've got to remember that pretty much everything changed again this patch. It's annoying that they had to change in OB64, and that was hella buggy, and then they did the same again in Open Beta 67, so hopefully OB68 will be a bit more stable than this one. But I'm definitely looking forward to this thematic map and event that's going to go on with this Far Eastern sort of theme, and spicy speculation on the Genos lore, as it being Ascension Peak for Genos. And looking forward to seeing what the themed event actually brings with sort of quest PvE, something along those lines. I know in Smite they even had like a go-kart, Mario Karting-esque sort of adventure thing, so we could see some crazier stuff here in Paladins the game. And I think hi-rez Chris has brought across the idea of these skins from Smite as well. I've heard a lot about them having these higher level quality skins, but in a one pack. Anyway, everyone let me know what they think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more of my content, and hit that notification bell icon if you want to join the notification squad. Again, thanks for watching, folks. See you next time. Joshino.